Sup you guys, ASD Classified here. Let's talk about episode 6 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers Hangar Heist. So, what happened in this episode? Evox was pissed that the Rangers captured one of his Gigadrones, right? So, he charges the Avatars to take back the Gigadrone and, kill the Power Rangers as usual. Roxy manages to find the Gigadrone. It's in one of the hidden bases that Grid Battle Force has. She finds the Gigadrone. She reboots it so that it activates again and attacks the Power Rangers. The Power Rangers are forced to combine their Zords for the first time to create the Beast X Megazord. And with the Megazord, they defeat all the enemies in this episode. Bam. Summarized. 1 minute. Well, there were other things going on in this episode, such as Devon. Devon was also pissed in this episode. Devon, quite the temper on that young man. So, there was 2 times in this episode that Robbie was like, hey Devon, maybe you should do this. Maybe it'd be better to do this. Let me give you my input on this. And both those times, Devon was like, how fucking dare you? How dare you tell me what to fucking do? I'm the leader of this team. I am wearing red here. I know what I'm doing. Like, he just overreacted, anger burst, just wow. just wow. Wow. And you know what? I wouldn't have been mad if Robbie decided to just punch him out, man. Like, Devon was doing a lot. He was doing a lot in this episode. And honestly, I get it. I get it because, Devon has a hard time taking criticism, even constructive criticism. I also have had that problem, growing up anyway. I feel like I've worked through that and I can take constructive criticism now, but when I was younger, oh no. Oh no. Like, if the only thing that needs to be coming out of your mouth is that I did a good job on this, right? If you're not telling me that I didn't do a good job, keep your opinions to yourself. That's how I used to be. I don't care if you're like, well baby, maybe you could do this better, especially I feel like one of my skills is that I can write, right? I feel like I'm a good writer, So I always hated when people would criticize my writing, right? Like the teachers even being like, oh, you could write this a little bit better. Like, bitch, don't ever tell me. What the hell I could write better, okay? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, all right? That's how I used to be. And I had to work on that. So I completely understand why Devon was being like just aggressive and stuff. He don't like people telling him that he could do better. He felt like he knows what he's doing. He felt like he got this. Fall back. So yeah, I completely understand where Devon was coming from. I get that he doesn't like to be criticized, but guess what? You're not always right. And that was the lesson in this episode that Commander Shaw taught him. It's like, you're not always right. You have good instincts, you're a good leader. But even good leaders make the wrong decisions. And you need to listen to your team sometimes because they may be more experienced in certain areas, like Robbie was in this particular instance, right? He was more experienced in what they were trying to do. They were trying to do a simulation to like form the Megazord for the first time. Well, he's done this before. So maybe you should take his advice and listen to him. Leaders got to know when to follow sometimes. That was the lesson of this episode. And Devon started listening to Robbie and yeah, all was well at the end. But yeah, I think this was a really good episode. I mean, a really good lesson to teach kids, like all the times that Ninja Steel failed to give kids good lessons. This episode was it was a good lesson for the kiddos, so cool. There were other things going on in this episode, such as at one point, the Rangers showed up to, their hidden base to try to stop Roxy from taking back the Gigadrone, right? And Roxy had another smaller monster with her. Was it the Meltadrone or Meltatron? Anyway, she had a monster with her, right? And at one point, she managed to trap both Robbie and Zoe in the hangar. She trapped them in there with the Meltatron and the giant Gigadrone, right? And we had this whole thing with, oh my God, Devon, he gotta find a way to get Robbie and Zoe out of there. Oh my God, what is he gonna do? And I'm just sitting here like, I feel like they could get out of this. I feel like there are like 3 ways for them to get out of this and it's not that big of a deal, but the episode is making it a big deal. Like, it's a Gigadrone. There's a huge robot in here. It's shooting missiles. At one point, one of them missiles are gonna blow a hole in the wall and they'll be able to escape, right? So that's one way. Second way, there's a monster called Meltatron in here. It has acid that can melt through anything. I feel like the Rangers could just, chop his weapon off, melt a hole in the wall and get out. That's the second way. Third way, teleportation. Okay, y'all have the ability to teleport, right? I mean, you tend to use teleportation just for your weapons, but from episode 1, we know you can teleport people too. You teleported the avatars and Evox to another fucking dimension. Y'all have the power to teleport. You could have said, Commander, Nate, teleport us out of here, and boom, bam, boom, you're done. But no. Y'all did none of that. That's the third way. And we know you can teleport because both Roxy and Scrozzle teleported out of there. So, just a mess. A mess. But whatever, man. Whatever. You know, this is what happens when you put teleportation in Power Rangers because... Never mind. Anyway, so another important plot point that I have to mention is Scrozzle. So Scrozzle showed up in that hangar while the Rangers were fighting Roxy and Meltatrons and everything else, right? He showed up in there and he was just taking stuff like, oh, I haven't been on shopping spree in forever. He just taking everything in there, putting it in his cart, and then he found the head of a robot head, right? And he put it in the cart. And he took it, right? And at the end of the episode, Scrozzle was talking to Eva. I was like, hey, I got this idea, you know, that we were talking about. I'm working on it right now. I'm about to put your plan into action. Okay. Okay. So for those of us who watched the Sentai version of Beast Morphers, Go Busters, we already know what's up, right? We know there's going to be another Power Ranger and there's going to be 2 other Power Rangers. Woo woo. We know that one of them is going to be the 4th Beast Bite, right? And that robot head belongs to the 4th Beast Bite. So now the villains have it. So you mean to tell me that the 4th Beast Bite is going to be evil at first? I mean, that's what I'm assuming, right? So he's going to be evil. And you know, the 4th Beast Bite, Beetle J, whatever the fuck his name was, his Ranger form was blue, right? I don't know if the villains are gonna have him have his Ranger form. I would think that they would, but his Ranger form was blue, right? Or blue-ish. It works. It works. You know, you have Blaze and Roxy who are corrupted red and yellow, and now we're gonna have a corrupted blue. So okay, so it's gonna be 3 good Rangers against 3 evil Rangers. Okay. Okay, Beast Morphers, I see where you're going with this. I like it. I like it. And hopefully it will make the villains like more of a threat now, you know, because I don't know what it is. Right now, they don't feel like much of a threat. They don't. They just don't. They feel like more of a nuisance. If anything else, they feel like a nuisance. Kind of like Divatox in the first half of Turbo. Like Divatox was no threat to the original Turbo Rangers. She wasn't. She was a nuisance at best, okay? And I always think about that line in the premiere, like one of the 3 parts of it, Elgar, he told the Rangers, he's like, you can't defeat me, I am Elgar. And Thomas like, we've defeated better than you. It is so true. They have. So I don't... So it's like Divatox was bringing nothing to the table but a bunch of detonators. So it's like, what? And that's kind of what it feels like with Beast Morphers so far. Like, the avatars don't feel like much of a threat. They're evil Power Rangers, and yet they are evenly matched with the regular Power Rangers. I've never seen that. I've never seen that in Power Rangers ever. Every time we had evil Power Rangers, they were always like way stronger, and it took a lot to, you know, push them back. But no, it don't take that much to beat Blaze and Roxy. It really don't. So hopefully with like a 3rd evil Ranger on the ranks, maybe that'll give them more of a like push, and the good Rangers will be more challenged, you know. That's all I can hope for. But yeah, as far as this episode goes, it was good. I'm not sure I'd give it a 4, to be honest. I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5. High 3 out of 5, but yeah, it didn't blow me away. It was entertaining, okay? I liked it enough, right? So, if you're watching my review, what did you think about today's episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was mud? Let me know in the comments if you'd be so kind. Alright, later guys. I'm out the...